He was down $1 million in this particular game we were playing. Not a good player. Says so much about me losing my biggest hand ever to this guy.
I want to talk a little bit about 888 Poker. Obviously, you're an ambassador for them, as am I. Although you're probably levels above me. Where would you say where are you at now in terms of being a poker player? I know it's hard to gauge it, isn't it? But you've sat down with some fucking big boys, some pros. So where's your level at now?
I'm definitely still working on my game, as every poker player is. If you put me on a table full of professionals, over a year time, I'm going to lose a lot of money. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you have to dedicate your life to a game like poker, and I've only really been playing properly for maybe 3 or 4 years.
Right.
But in the recreational high stakes cash games that I play in, that's a lot more competitive, that's a lot more fair, and I have the opportunities to make a lot more money. So I would say I'm a very capable player. I know the fundamentals. I'm very good at reading my opponents. Obviously I make mistakes, but I'm a good judge of character. I can kind of sniff out bluffs, or I can tell if you've really got a good hand.
You say you played a lot of cash games. What's your biggest win been then? Because I imagine they're pretty high stakes.
Yeah, I've had my biggest win was about 120,000.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
Yeah. My biggest loss in one hand was $100,000.
Shit.
Damn.
That was painful.
Shit.
That was something that I never want to experience again.
What? How did that hand go down?
I had Ace King, and a guy who, this guy had been losing for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. He was down $1 million in this particular game we were playing. Not a good player. Says so much about me losing my biggest hand ever to this guy. But because I'd seen all the things he was doing over the last few weeks, I had no respect for him. I had no belief in him. Whenever he bet, I was like, this guy's full of shit. So I have Ace King. I think we're playing, it's like 100-200 game. I think I raise it to like 2,000 or something pre-flop. He calls. The flop comes like deuce, 7, king, all clubs. So I bet. I've got top pair. I don't have any clubs, but I've got Ace King. I've got top pair. And I'm playing against a moron. So I'm going to bet, because he's probably going to call me with a 7, or he's going to call me with queen, or whatever he's got. So I bet like 2,000, a small bet. He just calls. So that's nothing crazy. I've got $115,000 in front of me. He's got like 100 in front of him.
This is Vegas, right? Is this?
Yeah, this is in the Aria,
right?
In the Ivy room.
Okay.
It's like a private poker room. The next card is an ace. Ace of diamonds. I got top 2.
Yeah.
Against silly McGee over here. Let's go, baby. So I bet 10,000. And silly McGee bets 22. So he kind of like min raises me. I'm like, what are you doing, silly? I've got top 2 here. What are you trying to represent? The straight hasn't come. You haven't got a flush because you're silly McGee. So yeah, all right, I'll have a piece of that. Cool. So it's a big pot now. The next card comes. It's like 5 of hearts, nothing card. I've still got top 2, but the guy re-raised me. So all right, listen, there's like, I don't know, 50,000 in the pot. I don't need to go crazy. He just raised me. I'll just check, see what he does. He looks at me and he goes, I'm all in.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Excuse me? I've got ace king. There's an ace and a king on the board. There's no straight. There's no. You can't have a set. Cool. The guy just turns over the nut flush.
Oh shit!
So he flopped the flush.
Fuck.
In my mind, I thought, okay, he was he probably maybe he had the ace of clubs in his hand, and he was betting to try and kind of bluff, but he could still get there on the river.
Yeah.
And then he didn't get there, so he's trying to steal the pot by shoving all in.
Fucking.
My man, if you really had it, why would you go all in? And for another 8 or 70,000 or whatever it was. If you had the nuts, you'd probably want to try and milk me for a little bit more.
Yeah. Wow.
He had it. And, yeah. So I started the hand with $115,000, and I left that hand with 15,000, and
Oh my god.
it was extremely painful. And, I went to sleep that night. I was looking up at the ceiling, just thinking about my life and the things I could have done with that money, and
with just his
waste. I went to sleep, woke up a few hours later, and a cold went, not flush. It was terrible.
His face just etched on the forefront of your.
The worst player in the game.
Yeah.
Skins me alive.
Wow.
But you live, you learn, and as long as it's not about those bad nights. It's about longevity. It's about your results at the end of a year.
Right.
You're gonna get bad beats.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose big pots.
Mm-hmm.
But if you play the right way over a certain period of time, you'll win.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
no way, if I play in a game with this guy every day for a year, yeah, he's gonna win some big pots. But over a year, I'm gonna beat him.
Yeah.
100%.
You've played with pros, right? Like Phil Hellmuth and stuff like that.
Yeah, played with Phil Hellmuth, Tom Dwan, a lot of top pros I've played with. But I actually steer clear of those games in the private games, because you'll see these guys in the private game sometimes, and I just won't go because they're just too good. I like money.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away. But every once in a while, it's fun to play with them just to see how they are. To say you've been there and played with them is great. But if you're talking about like on a regular basis, you want to play with guys your own level.
Yeah, for sure. First year I played the World Series, I had a guy at my table called Jason Kuhn. Are you familiar with him?
He's a killer.
Yeah, he is.
Would you ever play with him even if you paid me to?
I didn't know who he was at first, but someone came down with a big photography camera and started taking photos of him. I was like, this guy's got a bit about him. So underneath the table, I'm Googling his name and I see he's the 7th most richest poker player of all the time. And because of that, because of Jason being on our table, they put us on the feature table. But I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. I'd only got into poker like 2 months before. And it comes up with my surname, Dean, and the amount of chips and shit. It was fucking scary. But before we let you go, Chris, what's Neymar like? Because we're huge football fans. And I know you've played with him a few times.
Yeah, so in Vegas, we play in these private cash games. And yeah, you get some amazing characters that come in. Dan Bilzerian plays. Neymar came and played. I actually played with him at in a private game when 888 flew me out to play in Barcelona.
Yeah.
And I got busted out of that tournament. But I'm actually glad I busted out, because I busted out and I'm like, all right, well, I still want to play. Oh, well, Neymar's playing in the back of the casino in a private room. Do you want to go and play with him? They said that you can come and play. Absolutely. Went in there, played, won 50,000 euros in the game. It was a crazy game.
Oh.
And, we exchanged numbers, became friends. And then I said to him, whenever you're in Vegas, I play in the best game in Vegas. So when you come there, call me and I'll get you in. And that's what he did. And he played with us for like a week. It was amazing. All the money I won in Barcelona, he took back off me in Vegas. He made, I put a video out. He made a straight flush against me, took all my money.
Wow.
It was a big hand.
That's crazy.
Chris, I got a straight flush on the flop in the World Series this year.
Yeah.
And I just, because I'm not too, I'm learning as I go on, but I'm still not too clued up about poker. The rest of the table lost their shit about it. I was like, I know this is good, but I'm not quite sure.
It's a big thing. It's
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah.
Did you get paid? Did you make some money?
I think there was only one other guy that hadn't folded by this point, but I took him all the way and sort of took him to the cleaners a little bit. But yeah.
I flopped quads on the first day. I
Wow.
flopped quads and I made about 1,000,
Fuck.
made nothing. It was the most tilting thing, because I was like, oh, well, that was the one chance, and the one time in the tournament I'm going to make quads, and I just made zero.
Yeah.
I just rather would have got it later on.
100%.
But Neymar, he's actually a very good player. You know, he's very smart, and yeah, we have a great time.